If you've gardened long enough, you've probably faced that heartbreaking moment when a patch of soil just gives up. It becomes pale, crusty, lifeless, and stubbornly refuses to grow anything no matter what you plant or how much fertilizer you throw at it. I've been there too, standing over a bed of compacted, unresponsive soil wondering if I should just scrape it all out and start again. But what if I told you that just 1 cup of a simple homemade liquid can begin turning that dead soil around almost instantly? This isn't a magic potion or a viral gardening gimmick, it's a real, biologically powerful solution that wakes up soil like a jolt of life. Today, I want to walk you through exactly what this liquid is, how to make it, why it works so fast, and how you can use it to revive even the most exhausted beds in your garden. Let's dive deep, because here at Soil Stories, we're all about practical transformations that any gardener can achieve. Before we talk about the liquid, we need to understand why it works. What we call dead soil is usually biologically inactive soil. The nutrients might still be there in some form, but the microorganisms responsible for breaking them down are either gone or severely depleted. It's like having a fully stocked kitchen, but no one around to cook. So, healthy soil is alive, it's full of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and all kinds of beneficial organisms working around the clock to make nutrients available to your plants. But, when that life disappears because of chemicals, over-tillage, compaction, or even drought, the soil loses its structure, nutrients get locked up, and honestly, plants really struggle to survive. The good news? Soil life can return fast when you give it the right food. The 1-cup miracle liquid is something I call aerated compost liquid, and honestly, it's just a simple, nutrient-rich microbial tea made from everyday garden ingredients. ACL is not the same as compost tea that just sits in a bucket for days. This version is richer, more active, and designed to jumpstart microbial life instantly. You don't need fancy equipment, you don't need store-bought activators, and you don't need to wait a week. What you do need is a handful of living compost, a little molasses, and the ability to follow a straightforward brewing process. Let me break it down clearly. When you pour ACL into your soil, you are introducing billions of living microorganisms directly into the area where your plants need the most help. So, these microbes immediately get to work, breaking down old organic matter, releasing locked-up nutrients, rebuilding soil structure, feeding plant roots, and, improving moisture retention. Then, those microbes multiply really fast, forming networks that actually help plants take up nutrients within just a few hours. That's why you often notice quick changes, like the soil softening, moisture holding better, and, honestly, seedlings perking up almost overnight. This isn't fertilizer, it's biology, and biology works fast when conditions are right. Since this is a practical guide, let's stay grounded and, actionable. Here's what you'll need to make roughly 1 liter of powerful ACL, 1 generous handful of mature living compost, 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses, 1 liter of non-chlorinated water, a mesh bag or old stocking, a bucket or container, and a simple aquarium air pump. Optional, but definitely helpful. That's it. No complicated measurements, no exotic ingredients, no costly additives. Everything here is easy for beginners and familiar to experienced gardeners. Let's get practical. The heart of Soil Stories is hands-on learning. Start by placing your compost into the mesh bag. This prevents large particles from floating around while still allowing microbes to enter the water. Alright, so what you want to do next is tie the bag and place it inside your bucket of water. If you have an air pump handy, go ahead and place the air stone at the bottom of the bucket and turn it on. You see, aeration is key here. it encourages those beneficial microbes to multiply rapidly while keeping the anaerobic smelly bacteria at bay. Now, let's move on to adding the molasses. Just add it in and give it a good stir until it dissolves completely. This sweet, simple ingredient is like a feast for the microbes, energizing them and helping them reproduce quickly. Next up, we let the mixture brew for 12 to 18 hours. You don't want to brew much longer than that, because the microbes can run out of oxygen and start to die off. When the liquid becomes a rich, earthy brown and smells slightly sweet and fresh, it's ready. This is your living, breathing microbial boost, the 1 cup that can transform dead soil. Here's the beauty of this liquid. You don't need gallons to see results. Even 1 cup poured onto the base of a plant or into a dead patch of soil is enough to kickstart the revival process. So, you'll want to apply the liquid directly to the soil, not the leaves. If the soil is extremely compacted or, hydrophobic, where water just runs off, go ahead and scratch the top layer lightly with a fork or a hand tool before applying. After you've applied it, water lightly to help distribute the organisms. But hey, don't drown the soil. Too much water can actually reduce oxygen levels, which in turn slows down microbial growth. Gardeners really love results, and you won't be disappointed. Within the first day or two, you'll usually notice a few things. The soil becomes softer and more crumbly, moisture sticks around a bit longer, seedlings show fuller leaves, and transplants recover pretty quickly. ACL is, well, kind of like a cup of morning coffee for your soil. You'll be amazed at how quickly things shift once the biology reactivates. That 1 cup is the jumpstart, but healthy soil thrives on consistency. You don't need to apply ACL every day. Using it once every 2 to 4 weeks is more than enough to maintain a thriving microbial population. Pair the liquid with organic matter, mulching, and reduce digging. Healthy microbes create soil structure, and soil structure makes everything easier, from water flow to root development. Dead soil is the result of neglect or damage, but once it starts healing, it often becomes more fertile than you ever expected. Whether you're growing tomatoes in raised beds, peppers in buckets, or greens in an open field, this is one of the most versatile soil solutions you'll ever use. ACL works in clay, sand, silt, or mixed soils because, well, microbes adapt to whatever environment they enter. Beginners love it because it's simple and forgiving, and experienced gardeners love it because it produces consistent, visible results. And no matter where you garden, balcony, backyard, rooftop, or homestead, this method fits right in. I've used ACL on soil that was so compacted the water refused to sink in. I've used it on beds that went gray and lifeless after heat waves. I've used it on containers that stopped producing halfway through the season. Every single time, the change was noticeable, and fast. There's something almost magical about watching microorganisms wake up your soil. You pour in 1 cup, walk away, and come back to a different environment. It's like giving your garden a breath of fresh air. And the best part? It's homemade, it's cheap, it's natural, and it truly works. If you've been struggling with dead or depleted soil, give this homemade liquid a try. Your plants will thank you, your soil will thank you, and you'll feel that spark of gardening joy all over again. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Soil Stories, share this article with a friend who needs it, and keep following along for more practical, powerful gardening techniques that truly make a difference. Your soil has a story, and we're here to help you rewrite it.